Hey everyone, and welcome back to Canadian Coin Addict. Today we're starting video number 5 of the series where we started with $200 worth of toonies. Today we're hunting nickels. Let's see how it goes. That's right, today we're hunting $104 worth of nickels. We have one entire box of nickels, that's 2,000 nickels to go through, and also 2 rolls on the side, which makes 104. Of course, this was our leftover from our dime video, and if you haven't seen that dime video, just click in the top right hand corner and you'll be able to catch up. We had a great find in there, as you guys know. So for anyone starting out with coin roll hunting, I think nickels would have to be my favorite coin. You gotta think, for $100 you can get 2,000 nickels. That's a lot of nickels to go through when you can only get 50 toonies for $100 as well. I have my partially filled rolls ready to go, and my filled rolls on the right there. I got quite a few already. I got my albums, my laptop, and of course my microscope for any small details that we need to see. So I think we're ready to get started, and let's hunt some nickels. Roll number 1 is complete, and we have 2 finds, 2 2020 nickels. Now with the quarters and dimes, I already have a full roll of those, but the nickels have been a little tougher to find, so I'm glad to add 2 2020s. Let's see if we can fill that roll today. Roll number 3, we have 2 American coins, 2002 out of Denver, and that's the older design. And we have the 2015 Philadelphia with the newer design. Roll number 4 didn't really have any finds, but I thought I'd show you this coin here. This is a 2001 nickel. Pretty modern, right? And under the queen's head, there's normally supposed to be a P. This stands for plated. So they started using a different metal around that time. And this one is actually a little bit more rare. It is the non-plated version, so you don't see a letter under the queen's head. And that's just a different variety you can collect, and it's a little harder to find. Roll number 5, and we have another US nickel, this time a 2008 out of Philadelphia. We also found this 2000 nickel, and like the 2001, this is kind of a transition period where they started plating the 2000 nickel, and in this case this one is plated. There's a P right there underneath the queen's head. Also found another 2000 nickel that does not have the P under the queen's head. Now in this case, not having the P under the queen's head is more common. And when you first start collecting, you'll find that the 2000P is actually quite hard to get. So if you have one already, that's a lucky find, and that's a good start to your collection. Roll number 9 had 3 US nickels, a 2000P, a 2014P, and a 2017D. Now normally I like US nickels, but I do have a lot of them already because I live close to the US. So I'll just show you a wrap up at the end, unless we find any nice old ones. Roll number 10, and we have an old one. This is a 1947 King George VI. So that's a nice old one. I don't have too many of those yet, and it's a great one to add to the collection. Now what I can tell you about the 1947 is there are actually 3 versions of it. This one here is the regular 1947. There is also a 1947 with a small maple leaf behind the 7. Now as that maple leaf was being struck at the mint, some of them did not get as clear of a maple leaf and turned into a dot. That dot is a lot more rare and a lot harder to find, and is worth some good money. You might also notice that this nickel is not perfectly round. That's because from 1942 until 1962, they actually made nickels with 12 edges. So they look a little bit different. They'll definitely stand out when you're coin roll hunting, and they're awesome to find. Roll number 13, and we have a different kind of foreign. This one here is from the Philippines, and it looks like a 25-cent coin, or centimo. The year is over here. It says 2018. And on the back it has a nice flower, and it says Catmon. Not sure what that means, but it's a beautiful coin nonetheless. I don't have it yet, so we'll keep that one. That's a nice find. Roll number 18, and we have this 1964 nickel. Now on the back of this nickel, you see the first portrait of the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. From 1953 to 1964, you'll see this portrait, and I like to call this a young head, and it is a pretty beat up coin overall. But what I do like about the 1964 year is that there's a nice variety. And if we put it under the scope here, I'm gonna show you on the laptop what it looks like. So over on the left we have KG as initials. That is the designer of the coin. And underneath of that there's some water lines. Now this is just a regular 1964, but sometimes you'll see an extra water line on that nickel. It's very hard to find. I've only ever found one, and that makes a 5-cent nickel more into a $20 nickel, even if it's in bad condition. Roll number 22, and we finally found some more 2020s. I didn't think we were gonna do it, but luckily we found 4 in this roll. Roll number 23, and we have 3 finds here. A 1996, a 1960, and a 1961. Again, the 1960, that's a young head on the back. And they have those beautiful 12-sided coins. Another young head there, 1961. And then we have our 1996. Now there's a couple different varieties with that one as well. So I'm going to show you again under the scope. So even though this coin is a little bit worn, what we're interested in with the 1996 is the 6 in the date and the D in Canada. As you can see, the 6 is quite close to the D, and this is what's called the 1996 near 6. There's also a variety where it's a little bit further away, called the far 6. And there's a more rare variety called the attached 6, where the 6 is actually attached to the D. If you find that variety, you'll be looking at a more expensive nickel. Instead of 5 cents, it might be worth $30 to $40 in regular circulated condition. So it's good to look out for that one. Roll 24, and we have another 1961. Roll number 26, and we have this 1964 here. Unfortunately, not the one with the extra water line. And just because we're at the halfway point, I thought I'd show you all the US finds so far. There's 22 in total, and we'll see what it's like at the end of the hunt. Roll number 36, and we found a 1970. 1970 is a really hard date to find because there were way less of them minted. I don't have a full roll of these myself yet, and I'm very happy to add it to my roll. And just to show you in my album over here, if we zoom into like the 60s and 70s, we can see here how many were minted. And if you go down to 1970, you see that there was only 5,726,010 minted, which is way less than any of the other years you see here. So it's definitely hard to find, and a great find when you do get it. Roll number 34, and we have a 1964. Roll 35, we have a 1963 here. And just to show you the back, that's another young head. And they actually only made 2 of the years that the young head was on the coin just circular. All the other ones are 12-sided. The 1963 and 1964 are circular. Same year for the next roll. Roll 38, a 2020. Roll 43, and we found this 1953. It's actually the first year that the Queen was on the coin. And as you can see, this coin is quite rusted. That's because the outside layer of this particular nickel is made of chrome, And during the early 50s and especially the Second World War as well, they made coins out of some different materials just because they were running low on nickel, which they needed for the war itself. 1953 has a lot of different varieties, and one of those is having chrome or not having chrome. So we already know this coin has chrome, and I'm going to put it under the scope for some of the other details. So as we take a closer look at this coin, I want you to take a look at the top letters, the DEI, particularly the I. Now there's two different versions of the way this I is represented, and this one is actually the shoulder fold version. The other one, the non-shoulder fold, the edges of the I would stick out way more at the top and the bottom. So this is a shoulder fold version, and that's the first side of the coin we gotta check out. The second side we gotta check is the maple leaf on the left side here. The closer it is to the edge, that will determine what that is. So this maple leaf is almost touching the edge, which means it's a near leaf. If it was a little bit further removed, it'd be called a far leaf. Roll number 50, and we have a very nice looking 1958. Alright, so we've made it to the last and final roll, and I thought let's just do this one live. So we're going to open this one up and see what we can find. Another US one. And another US. And for the rest, not so much. So to wrap up the finds of our hunt, we found this 1947, a 1953, a 1958, a 1960, two 1961s, two 1963s, and three 1964s, a beautiful 1970, a 2000 with the P on the back, and 7 2020s. Now the finds of the box, I have to say, are this 1947 and the 1970. For our foreign coins, we found this beautiful Filipino 25 centimo from 2018, and we ended up finding 46 US nickels, the oldest one being in 1964. So after searching through $104 worth of nickels, we ended up leaving $100 behind, and I put my symbol on the box, and I'll be bringing that back to the bank. Well, there you have it, guys. We started with $200 worth of toonies and worked our way all the way down to the nickels. We have $100 left, but we found some great finds along the way. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any ideas for future videos or challenges, I may just pick one of yours, please comment down below. Also, if you like watching these videos, please subscribe and you'll get a notification every time that I upload a new video. For our next videos, I might just start a little bit different, and I'm going to try to help you guys start your own collection or start coin roll hunting. So stay tuned for that.